Hi, it's Jeff Ondash, and welcome to Out and About. Today we are in one of the most historic places in pretty much all of America. It's one of the oldest playhouses around. It's the Youngstown Playhouse. I'm here with Jim McClellan, and Jim, you helped to run the place here, and this is just such a phenomenal facility. Yeah. We were really... this is something we should treasure in the Mahoning Valley. We don't know how lucky we are here. How old is the Playhouse?
We are in our 96th season.
Wow.
96th consecutive season of community theater. The building itself is 60 years old, actually going on 61 now. But the Playhouse was in a couple of locations prior to that. So it started in 1924. And we're coming up on our 100th, you know.
When you walk through the lobby and you see some of the pictures here, and some of them go way back. It's amazing to see. It's fun to even come here and look at that, because some of the pictures got to be from like the 30s and 40s. Some even look like from the 20s here.
They are. We've got pictures from every decade in this lobby, and we've got an archive full of programs and photos and newspaper articles that literally date back to the 20s. And we're getting that all organized so that when our 100th does come along, people can have access to our history, which is so extensive.
All right, but we've got something coming up here for the families that you're going to want to enjoy. We all grew up listening to certain songs, and sometimes we never knew where they came from or who wrote them and who put the words and the music together. But Rodgers and Hammerstein were two gentlemen that really were iconic in their time on Broadway, and Oklahoma, Sound of Music, they did a lot of things. So you've got a play coming up, or not so much a play, it's an event that is really something that the whole family can enjoy. So I'm going to let Jim just go ahead and tell us all about it.
Absolutely. It's Rodgers and Hammerstein's A Grand Night for Singing, and even that title is famous from their movie State Fair from the 1940s. They won an Academy Award for the music for that movie. Rodgers and Hammerstein, you're right, are famous. Their names have ring where maybe other songwriters aren't as famous or as well known. But with Oklahoma, Carousel, South Pacific, which is coming up with the symphony later this year, and the King and I and the Sound of Music, they also wrote Cinderella, which a lot of people grew up with on television. So this review, this collection of songs for the stage, features music from all those famous shows. So people will recognize these tunes from their childhood, from growing up, and we'll also maybe hear a few that were from less famous works that Rodgers and Hammerstein did. But all of it has been newly arranged. The people who created this review, which played on Broadway about 20 years ago, they created new arrangements so that the songs sound fresh and alive. So we're really pleased about it. We've got 6 great local singers to perform the songs, 3 men and 3 women, and a band that's going to be on stage, which is unique for us. We usually have them in the orchestra pit, but they're going to be on stage creating their music. So it promises to be a really fun event for the family. I think especially grandparents and parents, will have grown up with these songs and will want to introduce them now to the new generations.
And some of those generations are going to be in plays in school and junior high and senior high. They're going to be getting introduced to those songs there too, because it's amazing the ones that they've had. Just toss out a few of the songs that'll be playing.
Right. Oh, What a Beautiful Morning. From Carousel, If I Loved You. From South Pacific, Some Enchanted Evening. All the songs from The Sound of Music are famous. Do, Re, Mi, and Edelweiss, and 16 Going on 7. All those are, that movie still gets seen a lot on television. So their songs have, I think, really survived the test of time, and are still around. Kids learn them. The Sound of Music songs, I believe, are still taught, to kids.
That's ones that movie will stand the test of time forever. It's not ever going to go away. All of their songs. So this is not really a play. It's really more of an event.
It's all music. Right. It's all singing. I mean, there's very little speaking except to go from one song to the next, sort of provide some continuity. Otherwise, it's singing. And that's why it's called A Grand Night for Singing. And so, I think audiences can sit back and really enjoy this without any kind of pressure, to have to get involved in any kind of story or anything. It's just a nice evening of music.
Right. Nice evening to get out, have some dinner, then come to the Playhouse and take in the Rodgers and Hammerstein. Now, what are you calling this?
It's called A Grand Night for Singing. a musical review, and it opens October 18th. It plays that weekend, and then it plays the following weekend, the 25th, 26th, and 27th.
All right.
Yeah.
And 6 local, and have some of these people come through the Playhouse on their way to getting to be here?
I think every single one of them has performed on our stage before. A couple of the cast members were just involved in our production of Dreamgirls, which was in September, just last month. So, and they're back for more, And a few people actually who haven't been on our stage in a while are in it. It's just a nice group of great voices and people who can hold stage, as they say. They look great up there.
Okay. Will any of the extras be over here, like the bar area and things like that?
Yeah, we'll have our 50-50 raffle, and we'll have our intermission lounge open. We take donations only for the beverages that we serve, people can come and I think have a very complete evening here. Once they're done with dinner, they come here and have a nice time.
All right, give those dates again.
Yeah, absolutely. October 18th, 19th, and 20th. And then the 25th, 26th, and 27th, and tickets are on sale.
All right, this is one you're going to want to bring the entire family to, and grandma and grandpa along with the kids. But there's some other things coming up, especially one for the kids. One of the most famous Disney new things that has been out there with Frozen. It's coming here in December.
That's right, Frozen Junior. Now, this is an adaptation of the musical that opened on Broadway that's based on Disney's Frozen, with all the songs from the movie, plus some additional ones. And the reason it's called Junior is because it's produced by our youth theater, and only 18-year-olds and under were allowed to audition for it. Disney makes that stipulation, and they create an hour-long version of their shows, and they allow students only and kids to perform. You're not allowed to cast adults. So we've got a great cast of local kids that have gathered, teenagers and all the way down to the young ones, that are in elementary school, who are performing this abridged version of Frozen. And the ticket prices are lowered because it's an hour, rather than 2. But it's going to be, I think, really a blast. We're producing it as if it was one of our main stage musicals, and it will take place on our main stage, but we're giving it all the production values that we would give anything else on that main stage. So we're looking forward to it. We've got 3 sold-out matinee performances during the week for school children who get bussed in. Yes. And for a lot of those kids, it's their first exposure to live theater and their first time walking into this building. So it's always exciting to see the kids, ooh and ah as they're walking in, to see a show, and then hear them, when they're leaving, so excited about what they just saw. I remember doing it as a kid myself, coming to the Youngstown Playhouse. So exciting.
Okay, but this is only 1 week, so you're going to want to get your tickets. Right. And how can they get tickets for this or the other show coming up here?
Yeah, they can call our box office, which is 330-788-8739. Or they can go online to theyoungstownplayhouse.com, and we have ticketing on our website. Okay. They can call right now for any of those shows.
And tickets are still available.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, but before we go now, Youngstown Playhouse is not only one of the greatest places to come to see a play or an event like they're having coming up here, but it's also great to get your kids involved. True. Because you have acting classes throughout the year. Pretty much for 2019 it's done, but if parents want to get their children involved in youth theater, how can they get into a class for 2020?
Yeah, by all means, they need to call our office, and it's the same number, 330-788-8739. Our youth theater director is here during the week, keeping office hours. That's Sarah Jane Dimitrick, and she would be happy to give any information out. As you said, we've got ongoing classes for the month of October, so enrollment's closed for that, but we will most certainly be developing more classes for 2020, 2020 rather. So, we can definitely take names and create a waiting list, and as classes come available, we'll contact the parents.
Okay, is there an age limit from one to another?
Just school ages, from elementary on up through high school.
So
we have different levels.
Old?
Absolutely. I think we take pre-kindergarten.
And being involved in these classes is not just so much that your child's going to grow up and be a famous actor or actress, but the self-esteem that it gives them is something that probably every child should have at some point in his life.
You're so right. Yeah, that is what it's about. It's about giving them confidence, and it's about if they were ever had to get up and give a speech later on in life, theatrical experience would really benefit them. Like you said, it gives them confidence, it gives them self-esteem. It also gets them socialized. They meet other kids. I think it's the arts education's a well-rounded education, and you're right. It means more in life than just getting up on a stage.
Right. Doesn't mean they're going to go off and win an Oscar someday, but what it's going to help them with somewhere down the road is probably invaluable to some of the things they do in school
right now. If they want to do what you're doing right now, a theater background would help,
Sure would. So get them involved in the classes here at the Youngstown Playhouse. Jim, you've got a lot of great things, and thanks for all that you do and your staff does here in perpetuating the Youngstown Playhouse, because we definitely don't want this to go away, being the oldest one in America. Right. So come down and see the shows. There's a couple great ones in October you're going to want to see, and don't miss Frozen Junior the first week of December. Get those tickets, get online and get them, or call the Playhouse number that Jim gave you, and stop down and enjoy everything that the Youngstown Playhouse has for you and your family. Jim, thanks again, buddy. You take care. And we'll see you again real soon. That's going to do it for this edition of Out and About. Have a great month and take care. We'll see you soon.